Breath of the Wild was a game I always thought you could never make a sequel to. I was mainly wrong about this, as Tears of the Kingdom expanded on Breath of the Wild in every way, while adding new, insanely inventive ideas to the formula. Now that Tears of the Kingdom is out and we've seen what a follow-up to one of the greatest games of all time looks like, it only makes sense for ravenous fans like myself to demand more and know what's next. But the question here is, can Tears of the Kingdom receive a sequel, or has every idea been expanded on in the newest release? The most immediate question most fans will have is where Breath of the Wild 3 can go. We've already explored the continent, the skies, and the underground, so naturally there's nowhere left to go, right? Well, not necessarily. There are still a few possibilities. We know from games like Majora's Mask that realms outside Hyrule exist, like Termina, and it would be more than possible for us to explore what lies on the other side of the canyon surrounding Hyrule. While this would be the most exciting option, it's certainly not the only solution. Some light early game spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom, but time travel plays a pivotal role in Zelda's journey across the game, and this opens up a possibility of where a sequel could go. Imagine travelling between Breath of the Wild's original map, Tears of the Kingdom's expanded map, as well as a prosperous version of Hyrule before the Calamity, or a desolated one after whatever inevitable threat destroys Hyrule in the next game. Another possible answer is exploring the other realms teased in Zelda games, such as the Twilight Realm, the Sacred Realm, or even the Dark World. I don't think that this is all that likely, due to how Nintendo seems to want Breath of the Wild's timeline placement to be mysterious, and how Zelda games don't generally like to reference each other, Wind Waker notwithstanding. This is why my final idea for where a threequel could be set is next to impossible to happen, because this next idea is nothing more than fanfiction trash. But I'd still like to pose the theory just for could you even imagine sort of reasons. My final theory is travelling to the alternate timelines presented in other Zelda games. I don't mean just putting Breath of the Wild Link into a remade Ocarina of Time Hyrule. That would be pure fantasy. Just to keep the idea on the basis of reality, it would be like taking Breath of the Wild's version of Hyrule and putting an Ocarina of Time layer over it, change the character designs of the individual races, and have unique architecture for each timeline, add or remove locations that did or didn't appear in previous games, have the Great Sky Island turn into Skyloft, the destroyed town outside Hyrule Castle turn into Castletown, and have low-altitude places turn into the ocean when you travel to the Wind Waker timeline. It's pure fantasy, I know, but it would be the most exciting option for a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. But I do have a serious prediction for what's next for the Zelda franchise. There's only one logical place for the franchise to go after revolutionizing the open world genre, and that's nowhere. I have the utmost reverence for Eiji Aonuma and his team, but I have to predict that they can't outdo themselves when it comes to these masterful games. I genuinely believe that the next Legend of Zelda game will be a return to the previous formula of linear 8 dungeons. Even though I've hypothesized where the series could physically go next, I'm afraid that there's almost no way to create a new gameplay concept to go along with it. If Tears of the Kingdom didn't have vehicle building, I think the reception would have been a lot more hostile, and vehicle building was a way of giving the players more freedom to explore the world and solve problems. And I genuinely don't know how they can top that. The only thing left would be to let the player summon whatever they can think of, like Scribblenauts, and even then, that's just iterative on what Tears of the Kingdom has already achieved. The sales indicate that Tears of the Kingdom will probably get a sequel, but Nintendo likes to do a lot of stupid things, so it's still up in the air. But even if there's a third game, I'm scared that we've already hit the peak, and the only way to continue the franchise is a return to the original model.